Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining today's program. Today, let's continue to study the Sutra. And also, I wanted to let you know that we're going to move to another paragraph. This paragraph is so important, okay? And we have to use very clear mind to slowly enter its contents. So I'm going to do my best, try to explain everything that I know about this paragraph. First, I wanted to read this paragraph. Listen, Shariputra. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. The same is true with feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. Actually, Venerable Xianzhuang simplified the original paragraph. According to my understanding, Indian scholars, they always wanted to repeat some of the sentences, and in order to let readers clearly remember everything in this kind of order. Everything is related with each other. Allow me to read this again. Okay. Listen, Shariputra. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. The same is true with feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. Probably the original writing of this sutra will be like this. Feeling is emptiness. Emptiness is feeling. Feeling does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from feeling. It's going to repeat the same kind of a sequence with other skandhas. Before we discuss this part, I wanted to invite you to remember the first paragraph. Let me summarize in this way. Buddha said, if a practitioner who wishes to attain nirvana and gain happiness, inner peace, and a clear mental stage, he should do the same like the Bodhisattva of Avalokitesvara. Learn this from this Bodhisattva. Contemplate on 5 skandhas. Why we need to contemplate on 5 skandhas? Because this I, this self, basically formed by those 5 skandhas. If you say, I wanted to clearly understand I, how am I existing in this world? Why I'm here? Then you can use 5 skandhas to analyze this self. Yeah. After we analyze this self by using 5 skandhas, then we discover this self is empty. There's no permanent, there's no fixed self exist. So from this understanding, we're able to detach from the attachment of self. Then we'll be free, came from all pains, all kinds of sufferings. I think this is the first paragraph. Let me repeat again so we have this understanding. After we understand this part, then I wanted to invite you to think in this way. When a practitioner who observes 5 skandhas, okay, he carefully analyzes all those 5 conditions. Yeah, this is a body, this is a form, this is a feeling, this is perception, this is a mental formation, this is consciousness. Okay, so after we understand these facts, if we call this fist is self, then we separate the self by contemplating on 5 skandhas: body and feeling, perception, mental formation, consciousness. Then suddenly this I is gone. This self is no more exist. So this is why Buddha asked us contemplate on 5 skandhas. The reason for us to contemplate on 5 skandhas, basically Buddha wishes that all of us will discover there's no permanent self. Okay, after we follow this teaching, we observe 5 skandhas. This I is empty. There's no permanent I. But some practitioners, when they reach this stage, they understand there's no real self, permanent self. But how about those 5 skandhas? Probably those 5 skandhas still real, still are there. They are not completely disappearing. Yeah, I've been formed by 5 skandhas. After I understand there's no more fixed self, no permanent self. But some practitioners, maybe they still continue to think there are 5 skandhas actually exist. So that's why Buddha wants to move to this paragraph. Continue to ask everyone to investigate those 5 skandhas and observe each skandhas carefully, understanding their nature are all empty. Okay, so up to this level, I wanted to introduce this kind of understanding that I wish that perhaps in daily life you can make a right attitude to contemplate on emptiness, Sonyata, the nature of everything, the empty nature of everything. According to my study in Buddhism, when we study Sonyata, okay, some practitioners, the way they study the nature of everything, the way they understand emptiness is by focusing their mind on impermanence first. So if we say, I wanted to understand the empty nature of everything, the first step is we wanted to focus on impermanence. We have to establish this kind of understanding. Everything is impermanent. Based on this understanding, okay, I'm going to focus my mind on a tree. There's a tree. This tree is impermanent. So right now, this tree is still green, But in my understanding, I wanted to slowly, observe the changing nature of this tree, changing phenomena of this tree. This tree is getting old. This tree's leaves are getting less and less. This tree is not very strong anymore. When the wind blows, it shakes. One day this tree will lie down on the ground. And when there's a fire, this tree being burned by fire, when the wind blows those ashes, then now I have a kind of understanding. This tree is empty. So some practitioners, they actually use one subject to observe impermanence. From impermanence, then they discover something we focus on. Actually, it's not just changing. Actually, it's empty. Because everything just disappeared. Okay, is it correct? Halfly correct. Halfly correct. Because this is not a complete understanding of emptiness. This is partially understand emptiness, not complete understanding. Okay, so another step, another elevated step is the step. You don't want to destroy this tree. You don't have to separate everything from this tree. You don't have to burn this tree. You don't have to wait the wind to blow this tree's ash in order to see emptiness. Actually, when you see everything in front of you, you know it's conditional. You know it's impermanent. Then you are going to directly see everything in front of you has Sonyata, empty nature in it. You don't have to separate this tree. You don't have to divide anything. Because when we say, I wanted to divide something in order to understand emptiness, actually there is difficulty in front of us. For example, I say this book is impermanent. This book is empty. What I can do in order to understand this book, okay, I wanted to use the first skill, the first method. I wanted to separate the papers one by one, separate papers one by one, one by one. After I separate all pages, of course, this book is gone. There's no more book, just papers. Even there are papers, there's still something there. There's a paper. Okay, I'm going to tear this paper from 1 to 2. Okay, even I separate this paper into 2. There's still 2 papers, 2 pieces of papers. Then I wanted to divide one of the paper into another pieces. Okay, you continue to tear papers. As long as you feel there's something for you to separate, there must be something exist there. You think carefully. You cannot completely empty everything by tearing papers. As long as you can tear, you can separate, there must be something exist there. Okay, so there's a problem, something there. So in Buddhism, according to my study, some practitioners, they feel emptiness is different from the reality. Okay, emptiness should, separate everything from its own, what you call existence. Yeah, no existence. Nothing combined together. Everything should separate from each other. And actually, Buddha will say, this is not complete understanding, the right understanding of emptiness. So after we know this is not the complete understanding of emptiness, then we have to learn the right way. The right way is when you see this book, you don't have to tear this book into pieces. You directly understand this book is impermanent. Because of impermanent, so this book is conditional. Because it's conditional, this book's nature is empty. Okay, we have to use this kind of understanding in order to understand the nature of everything. So in this sutra, it says that form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Actually, this is one thing with two faces. When you see a house, you see the phenomenon of the house. At the same time, you understand the nature of this house is empty. You don't have to tear down this house. So this is very important. From this teaching, as a Buddhist, we understand that emptiness is the nature of everything. Because of this nature, everything will be changed from existence, from this form into another form. Also, because of this nature, everything can be established. Everything can be established from nothing. When we say nothing, actually it's not the right way. Okay, in Buddhism we don't say nothingness is empty. No. Previous talk I did mention that Buddhist emptiness is different from those concepts. Nothingness, there's nothing. What's on the table? Nothing. No, this is not the right way to understand emptiness. Okay, and why today this table is empty? Because yesterday I saw a cup on the table. Today I don't see the cup anymore. So I say the table is empty. The cup is empty. No, it's not the right way. Okay, this is not the right way. This is not correct way. Two cups. This cup has water. This cup without water. Normally we say this is empty. This is not empty. No, it's not the right way. So emptiness, the word Sonyata, means when we see phenomena, when we see people. Today I'm here. Okay. I will, understand that my nature is empty, but I'm still alive. I'm still talking. Okay. And this phenomenon is combined with emptiness. They are not separate from each other. Emptiness is different. Does not differ from form. Form does not differ from emptiness. So, according to Diamond Sutra, Diamond Sutra never use emptiness to describe Sonyata. Venerable Kumala Jiva Jomo Losu, he translated this sutra, Diamond Sutra, to express emptiness. But somehow, there is only one word that is emptiness. But it's not for this teaching. It just describes another teaching. It's not related with the Sonyata. Every time when this sutra mentions emptiness, he always used formlessness. Formlessness. Okay, I am here. This is I'm a very hungry. This is my look. My form is not real form. This form is not real form. So in this sutra, Diamond Sutra, instead of use emptiness, this sutra says formlessness. Even there's a form, but it's not real form. It's not permanent form. This form is changeable. So even we see a person, we only, have names to use. Actually, the form is changing all the time. Formlessness. This is another way to describe emptiness. Today, in Houston, in Texas, we have a famous university. We call this university Rice University. I don't know how old is Rice University. Since I came to Houston, somebody already told me there's a Rice University in Houston. Very good university. Do you know, today every time when we hear Rice University, in our mind, in the perception, we feel this Rice University is still the same like before, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, the same university. Because the name's still there, Rice University. Okay, and it's not changed with its name, it's still the same. But if you go to this university, you carefully check deans of the university, students of the university, and teachers of a university, landscaping of a university, and roof, bricks, buildings of a university. Today's Rice University is not like 10 years ago. It's not like before anymore. Everything is changed. But we still feel it's the same because of its name. So in Diamond Sutra, everything we use actually is just borrow the name to describe this form. Actually, there's no real form exists in this world permanently without change. So in Diamond Sutra, instead of use emptiness, it uses formlessness. And from this teaching, from this sutra, so in Buddhism, Buddha asked us that as a Buddhist, because we understand the empty nature, the Sonyata, is not separate from reality. It's not separate from our daily life. So everyday's life is empty. And how are we going to clearly understand this nature? And whatever we do, what kind of effort we use, but we never accumulate any attachment from this kind of doing, because we understand everything is changing. Because this reality, it does produce consequences. It does bring us effects. Good causes will produce good consequence. This law still functioning because all the conditions, all the phenomena, actually they influence each other. Even it's changing all the time, but they constantly combine and separate, and also produce good consequences or bad consequences. So as Buddhists, we wanted to have wisdom, be wise, skillfully use those conditions to benefit yourself, to benefit others. This is the teaching of a Buddha, because we understand the reality that we have is conditional. It produces consequences. It brings all kinds of functions. So we have to be careful. You cannot say, because emptiness, I can steal, I can lie, I can do anything that I want. I don't care other people's feeling. Because all phenomena still, moving and producing different consequences. When we do good, good will come to us. When we do bad, bad will come to us. This law still exists. But because everything is related with Sonyata, so nothing that we see we should attach to. Be in the present moment. Be able to manage yourself on the right way in order to use those conditions. In order to manage those 5 skandhas. Okay, so after we learn this, we can improve ourselves. Even this self is changeable. Because it's changeable, so we are able to improve ourselves. Okay. I think today I wanted to share what I can express. Sometimes the ideas it's so profound. Sometimes it's wordless. Yeah, maybe I'm not able to express everything, to you clearly. But Buddha did say 2,500 years ago, Buddha was teaching 2 disciples. Buddha said, if you see me as a real Buddha exist in front of you, you never see the Dharma. You never can achieve enlightenment. Until you see this Buddha is not real, it's not permanent, it's empty, then you see the real Buddha. Okay. Thank you so much. Namo Buddha, Namo Dhamma, Namo Sangha. Namo Buddha, Namo Dhamma, Namo Sangha. Namo Buddha, Namo Dhamma, Namo Sangha. Thank you.